Oh, I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, this thing sucks. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys can. What is happening here? Sorry, I'm trying to put it on this table stand. It's just fighting the crap out of me right now. So, you see the title. I don't know if I should wait for people to show up. I'm not even sure anybody cares. That's totally cool too. But yeah, uh, is I am on a fast track to failure right now. Uh, is a prime example of things looking good on the surface, and in the background, it's not good, or at least like you can kind of project into the future, and it's just not it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So um but I want to just talk about it, like just everything that's happened this year, because this was this was my year. Like, I did a lot of stuff this year that I just, I didn't think I could really do sometimes. Like, in some parts of it, I was like, can I? There was a lot of doubt and stuff, but uh, on the surface, it looks good, right? I crushed a lot of jobs. Um, I mean, I did have some good moments, and I had some good, like, milestones here. I'm going to go down to the shop. But I did have some good things that did happen, right? I upgraded my press. I upgraded from a 4.1 to a 6.4, which was real one of the biggest things that happened in my shop this year, like hands down. One of the biggest things that happened. Sorry, I'm gonna open this window. Um, and I don't regret that. I absolutely don't regret buying Miss Olivia up here. She did work out as best as she could, but the fact is, she's still limited. You know, it doesn't. I tried it. And I knew this off. You know, I knew this from the beginning that, if you're gonna buy equipment, you gotta pretty much buy everything at one shot. That's the best way to do it. I've talked to so many people over the last, I've been doing this is my fourth year in business. This is my fourth year. It's going to be 5 years in a few months. But I've talked to a lot of people over that time frame about different things. I've joined a bunch of masterminds. I've gotten mentors. I've talked to other people that are in the business locally and, far away from me. I mean, shops all over the place, right? I have connections to all kinds of people that are in the industry that can more than willing to help me. I can give them a call or whatever. That's great and it's awesome. But let me tell you why, at the end of the day, if I keep going on this track, this business will fail. It already technically is. It's been failing, I would say, since, what is this, December? It's been failing since, I don't know, probably October. I think September was like really my last good month. Um, at least on the surface, I guess. I mean, it's been successful in the sense that, yes, I didn't have to go to a job. I didn't have to go get a job. I didn't have to, I could pay my rent and feed myself and all that stuff, but that's literally it. I didn't make enough money to save. I didn't make enough money to obviously buy myself a conveyor dryer to go with the press, because I mean, it really doesn't make any sense to have a big old press like this and you don't have a conveyor dryer. Highly would not recommend that. And I've been told that. And I was just like, well, if I could go back again, I would buy the conveyor dryer first. That's what I should have done. And I thought about it when I did buy this back in July. I was like, I should buy the conveyor dryer, but this deal was so sweet. It was the perfect press. And this press is really hard to find, like, near me, most of the time, especially at the price that it was at. That's why I grabbed it first. And I was confident that if I got the press, the money would come. Well, the money did come, except it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to buy that piece of equipment. But if I had to pick one thing that is making my business fail, that has made my business way harder than it needs to be, that has given me the most trouble and has prevented me from scaling like I want and like I need to, it is the fact that I am doing it by myself. It is the fact that I am sitting here trying to wear every single hat in this business. You can't do it. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. This is going to be a video that it is 100% truth. There's a lot of people out here that's telling you that you can do this and that. I've done it. This is the year that I said, okay, I'm going to see what happens if I do this. So I can talk about it. You cannot run this business by yourself. If you are sitting here considering, oh yeah, well, I'm by myself, you know, and I'm gonna screen print in house, and I'm gonna do embroidery in house, and I'm gonna do heat pressing. You can't do it. I'm telling you that right now. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. It's not possible. I put all of my effort into trying to do that this year. And while it looked good, yeah, I got this sweet press. Yeah, I got, all these clients. Well, not all these clients, but I got, some big paying clients this year that placed some big orders with me. But I mean, if it was so good, if it was, working, then I would not be headed for failure right now. The last few months, I've just totally burned out. I think I talked about burning out way back in September, maybe even before that. That's what's going to happen to you. 100% guaranteed. There is no other outcome. If you try and run this shit, if you try to run this shit by yourself, you're going to burn out. You cannot be the printer, and you cannot be the person who's doing the screens, and you cannot be the salesperson, and you cannot be the marketer, and you cannot be the networker, and you can't be all of these things. You just cannot be that at the same time. You are going to burn out. You are going to have regrets about the way you handle things. You're going to mess up big time. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been messing up the last like month here. About that, probably almost, I say a month and a half. I've been messing up on my orders because I'm burnt out, because I'm doing too much. The orders are coming, and I've been doing good in terms of like, you know, getting steady customers. But the customers that I'm pulling in aren't the kind of customers that are going to help me scale my business. They're not going to help me scale. I mean, that's why I'm here, right? So, I mean, I didn't want to scale too fast to a point where I can't handle it by myself, but I think I might have done that unintentionally. But I mean, it's good. But the whole point of this is to grow, right? You want to grow every year, make money, make more money than last year. And that's been happening the last 4 years for sure, especially the last 2 years for me. The first year and a half, I mean, I started a month after COVID. COVID happened in March 2020. I filed my LLC in April 2020. I started a month after COVID. I spent the first year and a half fumbling around, not knowing what the hell I was doing, not knowing who to talk to, talking to everybody, getting 10,000 different answers on stuff. And so I was just confused. That's when it led me to, okay, maybe I need to get a mentor. Maybe I need to get into a mastermind. I found one in 2022 and joined that for a year, and I learned a lot. And even back then, even in that mastermind, there were so many people that told me, Keisha, you need to like outsource this stuff. You can't do it by yourself. And I'm like, but I want to do it by myself. Because I started this business to print. I did not start this business to be a salesperson. I didn't start this business to be a marketer. I didn't start this business to be a networker. I didn't start this business to do anything else but print. I want to be behind the press. That is my happy place. As much as it drives me crazy sometimes, that's what I like doing. But I tried that. And now I'm kind of not in a good place. So um, now I get to sit here and figure out, what am I going to do? How am I going to pivot? How am I going to, recover from this? What am I going to do to turn this around? Now, I don't want to say that I'm failing to the point where I have absolutely no money, but I'm headed there fast, very fast. I've been sitting here the last month playing around Indeed, like, oh, let me apply. I've applied for some jobs. I've gotten some interviews. I've done them, but I have these jobs I got to do, and so it's very hard to commit to the job and do this. Which I also want to say that's hard too. You cannot seriously run a business and be having a job. I mean, you can't. I'm sorry. You can't be running a totally legitimate business that has great, strong clientele, performing clients, and be in a job, especially if it's a full time job. You can forget it. I tried it. I started out like that. I tried doing that. When I got that big order last year, I think, what was that? September 2023. Okay. September 2023 was a very interesting time for me because I left my job the beginning of September. And a week after that, I got this order. Oh, I didn't get it, but I completed this order that was huge. It was my biggest order I've gotten, like by far. And it was great. I was out of the job. I was like, cool. I had a little bit of money to coast off of. And that was great. But the thing that made that work, it wasn't because I printed the shirts myself. That was a 740 shirt order. There was no way I was going to have a full time job and print that order. There's no way it would have worked. I mean, I would have needed this press, and I didn't have time, or I didn't have space for this press at the time. I definitely didn't have money, and I had money, but I didn't have a way to do it. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, like printing wise. I wasn't confident in that yet, so I outsourced that job. I sent that job up to Ohio, at the shop up there, and they printed it for me. That's the only reason that job worked. That's the only reason I was even able to do that job for that organization. That's it. You think I would have did that? You think I would have did it with a heat press? 740 shirts? You're out of your mind. No, it wouldn't have worked. And had a full time job. No, it's crazy. So I'm like I said, I'm here to tell you, if you are by yourself, this is the way that you need to do this. Okay? Don't sit here and drive yourself to the ground like I did. Because I drove myself into the ground this year. And now I gotta try and dig myself back out. But what you can do, and this is part of my plan too, to try and recover from this, is you either have to outsource it completely, especially if you're talking about screen printing. Maybe you can get away with it if you're doing digital printing, heat press, because those orders are typically small, like the DTF stuff, the vinyl stuff. Those are usually small orders. You can do that by yourself, sure, yeah, you can do that. But I'm talking about screen printing. No, I mean that just it's ridiculous. So what you can do is outsource it. There's tons of shops that do contract printing. Outsource that, and then you can focus on scaling the business, doing sales, doing marketing. Then you can take all that pressure off yourself and actually be able to scale your business, actually be able to get more clients, more orders, the orders that you want to get. And you can attend to your clientele like you need to, with the level of attention and detail that you need to be doing it with. That's where my clients had to pay. That's where they had to pay because, especially like I said, in the last month and a half ish, I've been messing up orders because I'm trying to do everything. I can't do everything. I've been driving myself crazy. That's why I haven't been on YouTube that much. It's been really deep over here. I've been trying to just recover from stuff. I got jobs on my board, and that's great. But because I got to tend to all these jobs, and I'm losing the details. I'm losing track of stuff because I haven't even had a chance to actually put systems in place so that I can make sure and double check several times before I put ink on these shirts or whatever it is I'm printing, that everything is right and everything is approved by the customer. Like, it's just a lot going on. So I'm getting bigger orders, and that's great. But because I don't have the capacity to do them because I'm alone, my clients are going to suffer. I almost lost a client over this. Like, I almost lost my biggest client over this exact issue right now. So luckily, I found out that he wants to come back to me. But he's trying to come back to me with a much, much bigger order, which is like on the surface, yay, oh my God, that's money right there. Woo. And if I tell other people about it, they're like, yeah, oh my God, that's such a big order. It'll be my second biggest order. It'll be 600, almost 700 shirts. Yeah, that's great. I'll make money off of it, but I can't. There's no way. If I print that order, it's going to take me days, especially since I don't have a conveyor dryer. It's going to take me days. And those days that I'm behind this press, every minute I'm behind this press, I am not in front of that computer. I am not on that phone. I am not sending those emails. I am not marketing in any kind of way. I'm not at those events that I need to be at to get the clients that I actually want. So the thing is like, I've burned myself out trying to wear too many hats. And I just want to encourage people that if you're thinking about this, or you're in a position where you're about to pull the trigger, like, yeah, let me get some equipment, let me get that, and I'll just do everything in house, and you by yourself, forget it. Forget it. It's not happening. I'm telling you that. Don't do it. If you can't find a person, or you can't, like, if you don't have a family member, a kid that's old enough to print, or a husband, wife, whatever, if you can't afford to hire somebody, even part-time or whatever it is, if you can't outsource it, you're going to fail. Don't even do it. I'm telling you that. So my plan for 2024 or 2025 is to, unfortunately, I've thought about this, and I think I'm going to put all of my equipment in storage. All of it. I may keep out the heat press. Um, I might do the flash dryer, keep the flash dryer in the 1.4, but the big press definitely has to go in storage. And this is why. So I'm going to be moving from this place in the next 3 months. And I'm having trouble figuring out how in the world I'm going to fit this press into another place. Now I know people are like, get a house. You can put it in a garage. Well, sure. It's not like a house is cheap, y'all. It's not cheap. And if you're relying on your own business to make money, and you don't have that money coming in because you're not consistent, because you're wearing too many hats, then it's not going to be that easy. Now, if I was outsourcing this like I should have been, I would have enough money. And that's my plan. So, the slow season is upon us. And I really don't even know why I'm slammed right now. Like, I just got slammed in the last 2 weeks. And that's kind of what made me realize, like, okay, I got to do something different. I can't afford to be behind the press anymore. I just can't. I can't do it. Maybe for like the little jobs, but that's what the 1.4 is. It can handle little jobs like that. I don't mind doing 50 shirt orders on that. One color. That's easy. But I just can't. I've been looking at different places to move this to. I'm trying to downsize. And this press is presenting all of the problems. Like, I can't be in an apartment because this thing makes noise and the fumes. And if I got a conveyor dryer, there's gonna be the power issue, more than likely. Even if it's not a power issue, it's still gonna be a fume issue. And so, it's just a lot of problems. And I've gotten away with it at this place. Literally because of the patio door. Now, I feel like if I was working out of a basement that didn't have a patio door, that has the little, like, the little window or something like that, it would be way worse in here. Like, way worse in here. So I know people have done it, but it's still not easy. And in terms of scaling, in my opinion, I don't think it's possible. I just don't think it's possible by yourself. Now, if you can get somebody in there to help you with, you hire someone in and they're printing and you're out there on doing the admin stuff, cool. Or if you outsource it completely, everything, cool. But don't try and do this by yourself. That's all I got to say. So I think for what I've done, I think for, being by myself and, not having a job and trying to just put all of myself into this, I've done pretty good for the year for what I was doing. But it's still not enough. And I put everything into it this year, as much as I could. And oh my gosh, I got clean. So sorry. Um, I put everything into it, and I've gotten to a place where I'm really well known around Omaha. I did that in a lot of that this year, a lot of networking this year, a lot of connections, um, a lot of that stuff. Networking can change a whole lot of things, and networking is how I got most of my orders. But if I'm going to be serious about expanding, because one of my goals for 2025 is to expand. Okay, I want to expand outside of my state. I'm not going to say where, but I want to expand outside of my state and then possibly move out of my state, but still maintain my customers. So it's a whole thing I got to try and figure out. But it came down to it, and I was sitting down last night. I was like, you know what? If I really want to do that, there's no way I'm doing it by myself. I'm gonna have to outsource it. Um, and I've got to get systems in place. I did everything this year with basically no systems in place, no real systems. I mean, when it came to, and I don't have any automated emails. I don't have, this is about all my system that I have right here is a whiteboard, and that can only take you so far, you know. Um, I didn't have a way to totally like triple check stuff. I could check it on the computer and be like, okay, cool, but I had really no way to check it here, like I need to, like to make sure I've checked, gotten every part of the process, and that there's very little chance of things going wrong. And I discovered in the times that I've gotten busy, like slammed like this, it's like exponentially worse. Exponentially worse. It's totally overwhelming for one person. Now, if I could have an employee that I could have help me with that, then it'd be great. And sure, I could hire a VA or whatever, but a good VA you got to spend money on, and you got to be choosy with that. And again, it's the issue of I'm one me. I'm dealing with 15 other things at the same time, and I don't have time to sit here and vet a VA. And I'm very picky because I need someone who's gonna be basically be me. Like I need you to sound like me. So, and I want to be able to get someone that's, you know, good. But the people that I've checked in with, that's a VA, they cost money. They're not cheap. And it was like I said, it was just that I made enough to live off of, but I didn't make enough to like really invest back into my business that way and have it make sense. Like I could have easily got a cheap VA. I don't want a cheap VA. I don't want a VA overseas. No offense, but I don't want to have my customers struggling with an accent and just all this, the miscommunication. I've done that. It's just not. I've done it with someone else's business. It makes everything much harder. I don't want my customers to struggle. I have a reputation, you know, of it being easy to deal with my shop. So I feel like that's not in line with that. I want it to be easy. I don't want there to be any barriers of any kind. And here lately, because of me being burnt out and trying to do everything myself, there's just been things that fall through the cracks. So, and there's been things getting done wrong. And then right now, I'm dealing with issues with vendors. And now I do outsource for my banners and stuff, and I do outsource for my embroidery. But that's my whole thing. Like that's what drove me to doing this by myself on the screen printing side of things, is because I I've done this embroidery thing, right? And he does great work. Great work. I've had two people do embroidery for me now. And the quality is just not where I want it to be. It's not where I want it to be. And so now I got to spend time trying to hunt down another. And it's like, that's time I'm putting, my jobs back because I got to spend time on this. I'm dealing with a vendor issue right now with stalls, like because they messed up some. Like, it's just those kind of problems come up in business, and sometimes they take so much time to deal with, so much energy to deal with. Now I'm late on two jobs, and now I got to redo another job because I missed that one because I didn't double check the logo. I don't know why this lady sent me five different logos and didn't tell me any, but that's okay. That was my fault. I'll take the blame for that because I should have checked it, but I was just trying to get things done. So I think at the end of the day, um, for 2025, I'm gonna just totally outsource everything. I hate to do it. I really do because I love printing. I love screen printing. Um, but it's hard to trust another shop, especially if they're out of state. Like you can't even swing by and like take a look at it before you give it to the customer. Like that's hard. And I do have some shops I could do that here with, but the problem is the shops that every shop, and I've talked to another person here that has been trying to deal with the outsource thing. There's a lot of shops that do contract work that don't care. They do not care. That's what happened with this last order. I got messed up. They're not going to call you to double check that if is this right and do you want this and all that. They're slammed too, so they're not going to care and they're not going to have time themselves. And so it's kind of one of them things where it's just crappy, but it's I guess it's part of the game. I don't know. I mean, I'm still learning a lot of things too, and I learned a lot this year. um and I learned that I don't trust outsourcing, but if it's for my sanity's sake, like for my customer's sake, for my business sake, I think I have to do that. Because the one thing I've been struggling with for real, outside of just trying to keep track of everything, is being consistent in my marketing, being consistent in the emails, specifically being consistent in that. Like, I have not been able to reach out to new prospects in like a month at least, if not a month and a half. Everything just kind of went to shit for me in the last month and a half. So, um, yeah, it's been really tough, and I would not recommend this business be done alone. Please outsource. You can do it with Alpha Broder if you don't want to trust a local shop or find another shop. There's tons of them though, but you better vet them. You have to vet them. Have them show you samples. Meet with them. Talk with the person who's over the production side of things. Have them walk you through how things work so you can get a feel for that. See if you like it, if it works for you. Um, and then just kind of do like a little test run with them. Don't send them like a big customer job right off the bat. Like you need to do a test order with them to make sure that you like their quality. They can show you one thing on camera, but it's a different thing when you get that box or when your customer receives that box. I've done that. I experienced that with the one of my contract printers. Uh, they sent me, oh yeah, we can do half tones and all that stuff, and they look good. It looked great. I was like, great, okay, cool. You got a good reputation. The guy's been in business for 20 years. The order I got, the first test order I got, it was absolute garbage. It was garbage. The quality was horrible. You could almost scratch the print off of the shirt. That's how bad it was. And he sent that. I was supposed to give that to my customer. Like, what? So you even when you vet stuff, you have to do that test order to make sure that they can actually back it up. Because there's a lot of people out here that's contract printing and they don't care, and they got other people in there, they're not training very well, or their equipment, whatever it is, there's a ton of things that can go wrong in a print shop, right? So and then when you're talking about employees and stuff, I'm sure there's a lot of things that can fall through cracks that way. But just vet your contract printer, okay? And pick one that start with one that has a good reputation and communicate your needs very clearly. Communicate your expectations very clearly. That's what I'm going to be doing in 2025. I'm gonna keep the one contract printer because he's really really good at screen printing. I trust him, and he's not that far from me. He's like close. So, in town, I mean. So that's more comfortable for me. That way, if something's wrong, I can just be like, hey, look, let's get this done. It will save me money because, you know, and I'll have a chance to look at it. So that's going to be one of my things. And my other thing is really getting some systems down. Even if I don't have my equipment, I don't have to have my equipment to have, good systems in place. And to, establish that so that when I'm ready to bring the equipment back into the picture, I can just go and it can just fall right in line. Everything will be, fine. Um, One of the things I'm looking at is because a lot of my issue is just production, the systems around production, the systems around quotes and placing orders is kind of a bottleneck for me in a sense, just because I'm working it alone. Like I can't answer 10 quotes in a day, and these people are expecting me to answer 10 quotes in a day. I've got to find a way to do that. I just got to find a way to do it. I've lost orders because I haven't answered the quote fast enough. I mean, we people know this already. Like if you don't get that quote to them in like an hour or two, sometimes they just move on to somebody else. They don't even reply back to you. And sometimes here lately, like I've been answering quotes, a day later, and they don't want it anymore. They found somebody else that could answer in an hour. So I've got to figure out, like, man, I've got to figure out a way to answer those quotes faster. And that's something I'm like, I wanted a VA for that, but I got to figure out a way to teach a VA to do it. And I realized that that's going to be hard if I don't have a system in place for them to easily go, yeah, bloop, 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 it's this. So, and have them be consistent um, the way that I would like them to be. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on for me right now, and I've just got to slow down. So that's where I'm at. I'm slowing down. This is the right time of year for this to be happening, to be honest. Um, I mean, this could be happening during the busy season, and I'm just like totally screwed, right? So I'm at least grateful for that things are kind of crashing at the end of the year, where it's slowing down. That gives me a chance to reevaluate everything. So yeah, if anyone has any questions about like trying to do this by yourself, because there's tons of people I've seen say, yeah, I do this by myself, but they have a husband, or they have a child, or they have an employee, or they have a cousin, or they have I don't know, somebody that's not by yourself. I am the only printer I know that is actually by myself. I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody helping me. So I've got to it's just different when it's that way. So I have to do things a little different than most shops because I don't have those extra hands on deck. I don't have someone I can call, go, hey, can you come over here? Like that I trust anyway. I mean, I have like friends that, but that have offered even, but it's just like I don't have time to teach somebody on the fly like how to print. I just don't have time. And when you're busy with orders, you still don't have time to come in. Oh, well, let me come in and teach it. I didn't have the time. So I appreciated that, but and then there's the whole issue of it's in my house. I don't really like people being in my house. So there was that too. Um, so yeah, it was a lot this year. And I mean, I'm very proud of myself for what has happened. What? I made almost 4 times more money than I did in 2023. So I can't complain too much, but it's just fizzling out very badly. And now I'm in the danger zone, you know? So it's always ebb and flow with business. And that has been one of the biggest lessons for me this year is trying to ride that wave. Like when it's good, it's like, woo, we're on top of the world. And then there's moments like this where it's like, dang, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like I gotta do something different. You just gotta do something different. It's just an opportunity for you to pivot and do something different. It's just your business telling you, hey, something's gotta change here. So you gotta listen to that and figure out a way to do it. It's all about adaptation, always. And man, in the business of printing, I can't speak for any other industry, but in the business of printing, I feel like you're always adapting, like on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're talking about on press stuff, like actually doing the printing. You got to adapt to a whole lot of stuff like very quickly. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat and I'll answer them if you have any questions about like starting this. um Another thing I've been considering is just totally getting off of YouTube, just because I don't know how to. Oh shit, go away. Sorry, think I'm back. No, maybe. I think I'm back. I'm not even sure if you can see me. But yeah, something I have been considering is getting off of YouTube because I don't have a goal, I guess, for this channel. I don't know what else I can do different. YouTube doesn't make me money. So it's kind of just one of them things where it's like, business, YouTube, I'm going to pick the thing that makes me money. Uh, I'm sure if I gave it some consistency or maybe developed a plan of sorts, I could probably make money with YouTube. But honestly, that's not something that's even remotely on my radar right now. I was just kind of thinking that I could use this channel to document my journey and maybe inspire those who are in the beginning, and maybe I can help you from my point of view, working from home and trying to scale a print shop, and just showing you the real life, like, stuff behind that, um, by yourself. Because I don't know of anyone that's working from home with their print shop like this by themselves. So I thought I could offer a unique perspective, but I'm not sure if this is even helping anyone. I don't know how to grow a YouTube channel. So I don't know. I may just kind of disappear for a while and focus on my business. But if I get some feedback, maybe I can consider, you know, doing some videos around it. I would love to. I love to help people. I love to help, give advice and kind of just show my process, show what can be done. But I also don't want to be putting out content that 10,000 other people have already done. So I'm just not that kind of person. I want to be putting out content that actually helps people, that people want to watch, and that people just find useful. So, but if I can't figure that out, I may just quit the YouTube channel, at least for a while, maybe forever. I don't know. Um, so yeah, but if you have any ideas for YouTube or anything like that, I would appreciate it, because I don't know what to do with this channel. Uh, I just don't know. So, yep. If you have any ideas, let me know. I would appreciate it. Drop that in the comments for me. If I do get off of here, I'm on Facebook. You can follow me there. Uh, I don't mind. So you can just search me on there, and I'll be there, and we can be friends and maybe follow each other that way. But yeah, so that's the video. That's pretty much it. Um, Again, I just want to say that, this, you can do this, but you got to be smart about it. Don't sit here and try and wear all the hats. That's all my point is. Don't wear all the hats. You're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna ruin things for your customers. You're gonna mess up a lot of stuff. You're gonna feel overwhelmed. You're gonna burn out. All of that. All of that's gonna happen. It's gonna start affecting other areas of your life, and you're just gonna be miserable. Okay, you're just gonna be miserable. So find a contract printer, or find an employee or a family member that can come in and help you when you get that equipment in, because you're gonna need more than one body for this business. You have to have more than one person, or find, if you want to outsource the admin stuff and you want to do the printing, find a company that you can outsource to that can kind of handle, or a person like a shop manager that you can hire in, and they can handle a lot of this admin stuff for you, so you can do the thing that you want to do. Either way, find someone. That's the point. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I don't know when I'll be back. Maybe early next year, maybe later next year. Maybe, I don't know. So I'll see you guys later. Take it easy, and I'll talk to y'all later.